evening. How's it going, everybody? It's Mike Hamley here with Kyle Sparks for the AEW Dynamite post show here on bodyslam.net. Sorry we're late. We had some technical difficulties. But as you can see, Kyle is healthy. He's back this week. It's going to be awesome. I'm not healthy. I have viral conjunctivitis this week. So if it looks like I'm crying, it's just discharge. Anyway, let's jump into AEW. What a segue. I'm sorry.
Nobody does them like you, man.
Yeah, can't teach this. All right. Yeah. AEW Dynamite live this week from Chicago, Illinois. AEW's first time there in a couple of months. We just came off of Full Gear. What a crazy pay-per-view that was. Where did you watch from, Kyle? Were you
I was just watching from home. I had a pretty wild way to participate in the post show like I would have liked, but I came home. My family, my daughter was doing, my wife and my daughter were doing a thing, so I went, being a good dad, support that thing. Came home, watched it on about an hour and a half or so delay, so I had to completely cut off Twitter and just enjoy the show. Nice. And realistically, it played pretty predictably, I thought. I know we didn't, this isn't the Full Gear post showing thoughts. I thought it played pretty predictably for the most part. The only one that gave me a bit of a surprise was Joe taking the TNT title. I didn't see that coming.
I thought it was either going
to mostly because I've been fantasy booking or go to Hobbs. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Mostly because I've also been fantasy booking Joe to beat Jericho at Final Battle. So Joe getting the TN title complicates that particular fantasy booking for me. But all that said, heck of a show with something that was very newsworthy that happened in the main event that ties directly into how we kicked off the show here in Chicago tonight.
Yep. So as we all know, William Regal slid the brass knuckles to MJF for him to put Moxley away and win the world championship at Full Gear. It was a prediction that I've heard thrown around a little bit, and so bets paid out to whoever put that one down. And the show opened up tonight with William Regal, coming out to address the fans, but not address the fans. He did the old, so you'd like me to explain what happened? Well, MJF will tell you next week. So, but really the main event of this segment was more Jon Moxley interrupting him, wanting to come out, get his hands on William Regal and, I would imagine shake him down and ask him why he did it. Why he turned on him. But Bryan Danielson intervening to prevent Mox from putting hands on Mr. Regal and professes his love for William Regal and basically begs off Jon Moxley to not hurt him. I don't know. What did you think of this segment, Kyle?
I saw somebody on Twitter call this William Reed from his dirtbag brother. And it's kind of perfect. It was great stuff. This was William Regal at his heelish best in a way, his haughty heelish best. How uncouth the Chicago crowd was, forgetting where they were and having to ask ringside what city we're in.
Oh yeah, I thought we were in Detroit.
Hey, speaking of someone from Michigan, I'm not sure. I don't want to go there, but no, this was great stuff. And Mox coming off. Mox is just doing such great work, character-wise, in-ring-wise, on the mic. Mox is on such a tear. He's been doing such amazing work for a couple of years now, and him physically shaking from wanting to take out Regal. Although, if I'm not mistaken, it wasn't the last time, but I remember Mox and Regal meeting in a ring a long time ago, and Regal leaving Mox laying after a knee trembler. But that's in another universe, if you will.
Yeah.
So we won't necessarily go there. But no, this is great stuff. Setting up a really interesting reaction from the Blackpool Combat Club. You notice you didn't see anything from Wheeler or Claudio. Wheeler still, I think, has some beef with Bryan Danielson based on the Daniel Garcia stuff. So I think we could see a really interesting schism develop here.
Yeah, well, like I'm pretty sure Wheeler, in the BCC divorce, I have a feeling that Wheeler Yuta is gonna, go the way of Mox. Just based off of I think it was like last week he referred to Wheeler as his young boy. So,
you know what? I can't do it, man. Shooter is back in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He just got the U.S. title shot at Will Ospreay at Historic Crossover.
Yep.
What about Shooter?
There we go.
Unfair.
No, the Death Riders, Shooter, Wheeler.
Are we gonna have a Shooter versus Wheeler ladder match for the right to be called Mox's true son?
No, just Moxley with his American version of Suzuki Goon. Is what just John Moxley with all these young killers.
All right, but who's his archer? I don't know. I mean, we can put this together, but we're going to get off track here very quickly if we're not careful.
Yeah.
So, this was great stuff. I loved what it's setting up. I'm intrigued to see where it goes. I think I'd be shocked at this point if you don't get Danielson versus Moxley again at some point.
Yeah.
I wonder how Danielson interacts with MJF and Regal moving forward. He did save Regal's butt, but it was hardly a rigging endorsement of what Regal did or where he's at. Mm-hmm. I think you're going to get some really interesting character work from these guys moving forward. And it'll be a great opportunity for them to showcase that part of their game.
For sure. And we moved on. Another segment before we got to a match here. We got some fallout from Keith Lee and Swerve, but it wasn't really anything. It was, Keith Lee was going to talk with Renee. Swerve walked up. Keith asked Renee to step away, and then Swerve covered the camera and was like, let's talk. So we really got nothing here except for they talked. I wonder what they talked about now, though. So we'll find out in the weeks to come. But
I don't know.
Are they going to try to salvage? Are they going to try to salvage their friendship or?
See, I don't know. I'm of two minds. I think there's a part of me that almost goes the breakup route is almost cliche at this point. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, man, the magic that these two would make in a feud together.
Yeah, I know.
They got me fired up with a 30-second clip on social media this afternoon where Keith Lee tells him to just next time we meet, choose your words wisely, and just I was ready for it.
Oh, I know. I'm sure it'll come, but we don't have to drag it out. We had to slap it full gear. Let's lock them up now. Come on, let's go.
We have 3 weeks until winter is coming, so there's time
for sure. Purple Bucket Hat took on Orange Cassidy for the All Atlantic title. It's amazing that one little piece of fabric could give Jake Hager the best character work of his career. But here we are.
You know what? It's been a long time coming, but one one of my friends and co-hosts another show, Kylie Fuller, has talked about this at one point, that Jake Hager has absolutely found himself as the big dumb oaf sidekick.
Yeah,
it is perfect.
He has.
It is pitch perfect for him. He's serviceable in the ring. He's no revelation, but he's perfectly serviceable as a bigger guy in the ring. But he has absolutely found his calling as the big dumb sidekick. It works. And
the purple hat thing's fantastic.
Every time he loudly declares his very earnest love for that stupid hat, I pop every time.
I love how much of this match they worked around the hat. It was a source of antagonism that got him fired up. At one point in the match, it became like his source of power, where like the hat fell off of his head and he started to actually, fall behind Orange Cassidy. It was this is the thing about Orange Cassidy that I love, is that he can, with his own unique, funny, strange, bizarre, but still really awesome wrestling style, manage to work it into so many other people's gimmicks and business. It's truly impressive.
The psychology works in its own really odd way. You've established for weeks now how attached Hager is to the hat, and you even work it into the finish of Hager being about to put the finishing touches on Cassidy. He manages to reach the hat and throw it away, and the time that Hager takes to retrieve it, because he is so fixated on the hat, Orange Cassidy is able to recover, hit his big move, roll him up. And they mentioned this on commentary, even adjusting his positioning to get a deeper hook on the leg in the victory roll.
Yeah.
And just get enough with the flash pin to put him away. Like, it's still psychology. It is taking what your opponent is. Psychology is not always necessarily working a body part. Mm-hmm. Characterization can play into that as well. And they did a great job of it here. And this was just a lot of fun. It's a lower mid-card title. It's fun. Let it be fun. Everything else is so deathly serious, or we are so focused on trolling the daylights out of the crowd, which we'll get to later, that let something just be fun.
I'm hoping that on Friday my current favorite storyline in AEW will continue, of Orange Cassidy's going to walk up to some random person backstage who's cutting a promo and challenge them to an All-Atlantic title match, because it's like championship. It's championship behavior only befitting Orange Cassidy for him to just decide that he's not going to wait for people to challenge him. He's just going to walk up to anyone and just be like, "Hey, you want to challenge me for my title on Dynamite next week? Yeah, all right, see you there. Bye." That's it.
I'm just waiting for one of the challenges to inadvertently involve a commentator and have them have to confusedly go, "I don't wrestle, actually."
Yeah, Tony Schiavone should get a match. There we go.
And Cassidy. Oh, okay.
But
the fun would not last very long. Go ahead. What was
the post match here is really kind of I was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is just a fun match to have on Dynamite. We'll kill 10 minutes with it, and I had no idea that this was going to lead to the return of the House of Black.
You gave the people what they wanted, and then you gave the people what they wanted.
What an out of nowhere way to work their return in. Like the match ends. You got Best Friends in the ring fighting with JAS. Factory comes out to help JAS beat on the Best Friends, and then I'm like, oh, okay, we're just getting the gang wars here. But actually, no, we're getting some gang wars here, but the gang that were getting the gang wars with was House of Black.
Oh no! Evil Stevie Nicks showed up and had I might be dating myself as an elder millennial name dropping Stevie Nicks, but you know what? That's okay. We're gonna roll with it.
No, man, Fleetwood Mac rules. It's cool.
That is all I can think about when I see Julia Hart with that look. It's big Stevie Nicks vibes. Anyway, and oh my goodness,
Brody
the
King
House is Black.
Brody King was beating people's ass, looking like he came from an emo funeral. Like he was straight out of like whatever the opposite of church is, but dressed for it still.
We now have the Goths in black versus the Friends in tie-dye.
I'll take it. Give me that. Let's get a bunch of fun trio stuff happening while we have like 7 more weeks of the trios titles being busy.
How about Malachi Black takes the All Atlantic Championship?
I like it. How about Buddy Matthews takes the All Atlantic Championship? Or Buddy Murphy?
No, it's Matthews.
It is Matthews. Yeah, okay.
I don't hate that either. I just
want to see.
I need gold on Malachi Black in some capacity.
I just want Buddy I just want him to actually wrestle like some singles match. I don't think he's had a singles match on TV. If he did, it was a squash. But I'm pretty sure he's only been in tags and trios since on television.
I want to say he's had some squashes either on Dark Elevation. He might have had one on a Rampage.
No, but I want like not a squash. I want like a decently watching like a segment of television that is a buddy match. You know.
He's going to be busy for a while, but I have been banging the drum of Buddy Matthews versus Kenny Omega for a very, very long time, and I still very much want that.
Oh, I'd love it. But yeah, we got House of Black back. Who knows what? I feel like they're just going to show up and just kill people randomly.
And absolutely wrecked a poor security guard on the rampway. With the Dante's Inferno.
That poor dude.
Oh, with a suplex just tossed into a
Rikishi driver.
A sit-out Rikishi driver. Evil.
Everything that Brody King does looks like a murder. Cannonball Senton, Gonzo Bomb, Dante's Inferno. All of his big moves just look like he's killing somebody.
The hanging sleeper that he did on Darby Allin a couple times.
Again, yeah.
God.
Yeah, it's like attempted murder.
Yeah.
Man. But then, we transitioned out of this segment into the finals of the World Title Eliminator Tournament. Ethan Page versus Ricky Starks. Ethan, my hometown dude lost. I'm sad.
Yeah, this is always going to be an interesting call because I think both of them would have made great opponents, but it seems abundantly clear that they really want MJF to be the heel moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
And that made Ricky Starks the really obvious choice in that sense. Mm-hmm. I think there's still an opportunity it complicates matters with the dissolution of the firm, but I think that is there, and I think this has shown big things for Ethan Page. I think this has shown that he's got big things coming, and I would not be averse to him taking the TNT title off of Joe. I would not, I think that's a possibility.
Yes, this pleases my Hamilton, Ontario heart. The greatest city on earth.
I continue to be very disappointed that my jokes aren't popping on Twitter because I guess I don't have enough people following me. So we need to resolve that too. But I was even able to make an action figure joke at the expense of Ricky Starks and got 0 response. And I'm a little bitter about it.
You should have made it on Hive. You should have just made the joke on Hive, Kyle.
I guess I'm on Hive with the same screen name, but
are you really? I got to find you. Oh, I didn't know that.
It was something to the effect of Ethan Page should be really excited because the battle damage variant of Ricky Starks is a super rare collectible. I'm like,
I like that. That was good. That was good. I'm gonna go find the tweet and like it and retweet it because that was good. I very much enjoyed that.
No, this was tremendous stuff, and
Yeah.
it looks like we're really settling into sort of the second generation of AEW.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the first generation was the Omegas, the Hangmans, who was an original, the Moxes, you know, the older guys who were, you know, day one level guys. And now we're moving into the younger guys. And a lot of these were still day one guys, but or very early guys, at least.
But now they built the reputation that goes along with their name.
They're now, and you're seeing that kind of take over. You're seeing the Acclaimed, MJF, you know, and you had Wardlow there as TNT champion for a while. So you're seeing that change, and I think that's going to continue to grow, and that's vital for the continuation of the company. ROH did that for years, where you'd see a changing of the guard from one era to the next.
Oh, I should turn my ringer off because But what I'm see with the Eliminator tournament finals, I felt strongly that Ethan Page would win because of the MJF and the feud split or the firm split. And then it's just like, oh, you get you already have like lore built into this 3-week program you're going to run to Winter is Coming. And then also like, I'd feel bad for Ricky Starks winning it. And it's like, hey, your first world title shot is definitely going to be a loss. But now that he's literally being held together by like hopes and prayers and a little bit of glue, it's like, oh, okay, well, like he's beat to shit. MJF's going to pick him apart. But then he's going to come back in way better shape and healthy in 2023. And that's when I think we're going to see the actual like stock takeoff for Ricky Starks is when he revisits his world title opportunity and he comes, and he's doing it with I was injured as all hell last time. Now I'm, take me now when I'm 100%.
Exactly. And this was great stuff. Ricky Starks fighting from underneath, hitting the spear early on, but you notice doing it with the bad shoulder.
Yeah.
And taking him out and having to do it several more times in order to finally get the job done.
It's because Ethan Page is strong as an ox, built like the city of Hamilton.
Exactly. There you go. And there's a lot of good there. And now you've got a nice 3-week program with a great underdog babyface who, how healthy can he get in 3 weeks? What nefarious nonsense is MJF going to be able to throw in his path in that time? Because I guarantee MJF isn't going to give him 3 weeks to rest up. So what nonsense is he going to throw in his way?
He's going to probably stomp him out in the middle of the ring on one of the segments on the way there.
I also we've established, and this is where it plays in nicely. He doesn't have the Pinnacle or the Firm necessarily at his beck and call, but we've already established in AEW that he's paid money to the Andrade family office or the Hardy family office. He's paid money to other people in other groups to do his dirty work at times, and you may see that again.
Yeah,
we've already established Butcher and Blade as mercenaries. I think he was the one that brought them in the first place, technically.
He was, and I miss the dynamic of the three of them. I hope to see more of it.
Hell, maybe he throws some money at Powerhouse Hobbs, who's got no love lost for Starks, and is a big monster in his own right. There's plenty of ways it can go, but tremendous match with Ricky fighting from underneath. I'm sad to see Ethan Page lose this because, God, he's got a bright future. And, you hate to keep saying his time will come, his time will come, his time will come. But at the end of the day, there's only so many spots to go around.
Yeah.
And they are rich with talent.
I don't know. There's a moment coming for him, whether it involves a title or just, coming out on top in a particularly good angle. But, I don't know. I think he's got a moment coming. But after this, we got to a moment between Jade Cargill and Bow Wow. We saw a little bit of footage of Jade and the baddies kind of, talking down Bow Wow at I guess it was like a meet and greet for his concert tour or something. And
Something like that.
it's crazy. He's on a concert tour. I don't think he's had a hit song since like 2011. But all right, sure. Then we got a little segment with baddies after this, and Red Velvet is back, which is awesome. And then Layla Gray did not get fired from the baddies, but Kira Hogan did, which also crazy. I would have expected Layla Gray was the because she was like the fill-in one for Red Velvet's injury. So
Yep.
I would have assumed, Red Velvet's back. Get out of here, Layla. But they cut Kira Hogan instead. So who knows what that means for Kira Hogan? But
well, this turned into a big episode for interims being made official. So, but no.
Oh shit, that was great. Oh fuck.
This was something that they teased a little bit as a weekly viewer of Dark and Elevation. This was something they teased a couple of weeks ago on one of the YouTube shows, where Kira came out without Layla, without Jade, without anybody, and there was kind of a lot of questioning from those of us who did watch weekly, like, is she not with the group anymore? Mm-hmm. As I recall, commentary even made some reference to it that maybe she's not actually with the baddies anymore. I'd have to go back and watch the episode, but like it was something that it looked like they teased on a Darker Elevation and either forgot about it or chose not to do it right away and just kind of put it on the back burner. And now it looks like they have in fact executed that. And hey, she's a fantastic talent. She can work great as a babyface. Great. Let's do it. It's if nothing else, it's somebody else to run at Jade. If you're
pushing
for whatever
50.
reason trying to get her to 50,
yeah,
bang. There's Kira Hogan, who's a great underdog who can do that for you.
Actually, Kira Hogan lost to Jade Cargill at Rampage the First Dance in Chicago last year.
Yeah,
which Jade's just running through that. Like we're just got to keep bouncing people at her now.
Oh, I love her, but they've run Willow at her, 3 times now?
Something like that, yeah. Yeah. Only person she hasn't wrestled besides, Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter and, the women's world title picture, essentially, is Chris Statlander. So.
I want to get Layla Hirsch back healthy.
Yes.
Because, 1, I miss Layla Hirsch anyway, and 2, the visual of her facing up next to Jade is going to be amazing.
It's going to kind of go back to the her versus Camille vibes with the size difference there.
But you know what? I haven't forgotten Layla Hirsch. I miss her. I want her back. Hope she's healthy.
When did she got her the Revolution pre-show?
Something like that.
It was that was her last match. That's when she wrestled Stat, I remember, I think.
Yeah, if it's been an ACL, it's got to be one of those. She's got to be healthy, very close. If she's not healthy already, and we're just waiting for the right creative time, like with Scorpio Sky. Fightful had a report today that Sky's been healthy for a while now, and they're just waiting for the right opportunity to bring him back.
Bring back SCU, Trios division.
What? Hey, might as well. Let's do it.
Yeah. Speaking of the Trios division. Game 2, Cavaliers and Golden State Warriors. They're gonna do the Cavaliers comeback series. But we had Death Triangle versus the Elite in Chicago. I had so much fun watching this match. I was besides it being entertaining wrestling, there was so much pettiness that happened within this match that I couldn't help but just giggling through a majority of it, and it was mostly because the Elite were being
children.
You know what? The match was every bit as amazing as you'd expect with these 6 men. But I'm just going to continue to be like the cranky old man, I guess, and be like, look, if CM Punk is not coming back, then I'm sorry. This just looks petty and vindictive and shitty. If Punk is coming back, if they know something that we don't, if they've got something in the works, then I reserve right to say, then, great, good on them, quality build to keep it alive and forefront of mind. But if he's not coming back, then this is functionally teasing something that you have no intention of delivering. And to me, that's not good wrestling promotion. And that's where I come down. If you're gonna be petty, if you're gonna get heat, that's great. Do those things, awesome. But to do this sort of stuff that would seem to promise something that you either will not or cannot deliver is not okay. And that's kind of where I fall on that.
I didn't really read much that it would be hinting towards any kind of return. I just saw it as absolute pettiness, but still, for me, I was giggling throughout because I can't help but be entertained by a little bit of pettiness.
Also, whether you do or do not actually have actual power backstage, the EVP title gets tossed around, and how much actual power they have, is anybody's guess, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
But you also have the perception of that power, and it just I just can't, I feel like if you're perceived as having that power, you should kind of be above the petty nonsense. But what do I know? I'm clearly in the minority on this, so the matches are going to keep delivering. So I guess good on them. Have fun.
Oh yeah, 5 more of these is going to be wait. But I do find there to be some amusing, something amusing to on a day where an interview with Kenny Omega is released, and he essentially says, "Let it go." They go on to have this trios match tonight that involves Matt Jackson recreating the Buckshot Lariat fuck up, Kenny biting Penta, Kenny teasing a GTS, Kenny delivering a GTS. We really just needed Nick Jackson getting hit with a chair and Kenny getting Abrahantes away from all the danger, and we had a full bingo card here.
Yeah, and you're also overshadowing your actual trios champions in all of this. You are so busy popping yourself and getting over this feud that may or may not ever actually happen that Death Triangle is now up 2-0 in this feud. And does anybody notice, remember, or care?
I found it interesting that the Elite, I was kind of wondering if this would happen, but we saw Brandon Cutler throw the hammer in at the end of the match. And we were going to get the Elite cheating with the hammer, but then Penta out-hammered the Elite. The way of the hammer is the tale of this best of 7. It's whoever can get the hammer blowing is going to win it. I wonder if, by the end of it, this evolves into some kind of stipulation match at the, by the time we hit a 7th match here, just for the sake of, something to quell all the rampant cheating that's going on within this series so far. But
the Rick Knox, please see anything, I beg you challenge.
My favorite part of that, actually, you just bringing that up, is after he counted 3, he looked at the mat and saw the hammer tonight.
I distinctly remember watching that and thinking, are we really going to do a Dusty finish with this? Is this actually... Is this actually going to happen?
I've been watching a lot, like an extremely large amount right now of PWG. I have the whole library, and Rick Knox has just been like the worst referee in history for years now, and he's just only gotten higher in position with it. It's fantastic. Honestly, he should write a book on getting ahead in the workplace by doing the bare minimum. It's epic.
I keep wanting there to be some acknowledgement or broader storyline reason why Knox referees every single Young Bucks match, and it just keeps not coming.
At the end of the day, like it would be great if there was a storyline reason for it, but I'm sure at the end of the day, it's just like Rick Knox probably referees a Young Bucks match better than any referee will because of how many of them he's refereed. So it's like, Why would you put another referee out there? Like, why just put Knox out there? He knows them better than anybody else that wears stripes probably on the planet.
Yeah, it's also difficult to do that without going into a heel referee angle or some nonsense like that, which we very much don't need. I would be happy with just something as simple as calling Rick Knox like their tag team specialist.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah. I don't need a Rick Patrick angle here.
Nick.
No, Rick in this case.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Yeah. Yeah. I tried. But we don't need the Elite having a ref in their pocket.
But no, I mean, something as simple as, they mentioned on one of the Darts Relevations, I think, when Daniel Garcia defended the Pure title against Brock Anderson, they had Mike Posey out there. And I think it was Taz or somebody that mentioned, or Excalibur, I think it was actually, that mentioned Mike Posey is our Pure Rules expert. Great. So you have different niches for different officials. I think that's kind of a cool idea, and that could be something that could be fun.
I like ref lore. Ref lore is cool.
But this is amazing. It's I sincerely hope it's going to go all 7, but at this point, the Elite's you gotta think the Elite's going to take it next week just to even it up, because coming back from 3-0 is almost a little cliche at this point.
Yeah, I think we get it. The Elite's going to win next week. I think then they lose again and go down 3-1. And then they come back from the 3-1 like the Cavs did. And that's when we're going to see, Nick Jackson. I think Nick Jackson's going to take the series MVP here.
All right. I also... No, this was a lot of fun. The hammer's going to continue to play a role. It's going to be a blast. Mm-hmm. Phoenix being upset with Penta using the bonus hammer, I guess. Yeah. I don't know.
Is that a hammer in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
Happy to be up 2-0.
Yeah. Well, except for Ray Phoenix, apparently. Not happy about it at all. But
yeah, you used it on Saturday night, dude. Come on.
I know. That kind of played in the back of my head a little bit. I'm like, didn't you with Kenny pop, but I don't know. Different times, desperation, whatever. I don't know, but I'm interested to see where Death Triangle is in terms of cohesion by the time the 7th match takes place. Are they just all? Are they just hanging together by threads because Phoenix is so disappointed with all the cheating, or did they just completely? Is he just running around with his own little hammer? Yeah, fuck you guys.
With tassels on the bottom or something too, just to.
Yeah. His hammer's gonna actually do spins before he hits people. He's gonna be twirling it and stuff. But then we had. So we had the Elite lose here. Nothing after the match. Just got to our next segment, which happened to be Renee Paquette out on the stage to announce that Thunder Rosa's AEW title. She has reached an agreement with AEW where she will relinquish the title. So Jamie Hayter is now officially the All Elite Wrestling Women's World Champion. No interim anymore. It's gone. And then later on, during this tag match, commentary actually also announced that it was backdated to include Toni Storm's reign.
Yes.
Which is fantastic news. So essentially, the all-out match was now in the books. It'll go down as being wrestled for a vacant title.
Yep,
which is awesome. Toni Storm did a lot in that short time that she had the belt. She wrestled.
Her reign was one of the best women's title match reigns that they had at and so glad it's getting recognized.
Somebody did a bunch of math on it somewhere. I can't remember who it was, and I'm really, really sorry. And I, if you know who it was, let us know in the chat. But somebody did like a breakdown on it. She had like the most volume of matches, like the highest percentage of matches with the title out of like any champion, or the second most, or something like that. I think Sheeta was the only one with more, maybe because of the length of the reign. But I can't remember exactly the statistic. But one of the number one or number two most dominant reign as women's champion, just based on the amount of matches she's had with that belt since winning it all out, which is crazy. And
all really high quality too.
Yeah, and it was like a 10-week reign. Or 9 weeks even.
No, this was 100% the right move. This was a move the internet wanted, a lot of the IWC wanted, the fan base wanted, because Toni did so much for this. And if this wasn't done, then the record books would functionally say Thunder Rosa to Jamie Hayter, and Toni Storm. All the work that Toni Storm did in that 10-week or whatever span would just be gone. It would be as though it never happened. And I appreciate Tony Khan making that call, because it's your title. You can choose how it's recognized. You can do all of those things. At the end of the day, it's a fake title. They're all technically fake titles. You do with them what you want.
You can. Yeah.
Yeah, you make the rules.
Yeah, basically.
More promoters taking advantage of that level of control, to be honest. The tag match itself, yes. Getting to the tag match itself, though, it was perfectly serviceable. It was built up on Dark with the JAS beating down some opponent and Willow coming in to make the save. And
I like this Sky Blue and Willow pairing. Like, they work well together. They're fun, I
mean, it's perfectly solid. And if you're gonna have speaking of women's tag teams in AEW, if you got Kiera Hogan free, pair her with Diamante.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know you don't like. I know on screen pairings of real life couples is always hit or miss, but shoot, why not? Not doing anything with Diamante right now either, so.
Yeah.
Give her something to do. But it was perfectly serviceable. It gives Jamie an opportunity to look good in a different format. Commentary put that over of, she was just in a tough one-on-one match. Now she's in a 3-way tag, and talking about the versatility and the skill that Jamie has as a performer and as a wrestler, as an athlete.
And also something we kind of skipped by too, but when Jamie and Britt Baker came out when Renee Paquette called, introduced them and they came out, Jamie went to start speaking and Britt Baker cut her off right away and just started launching into her own little promo there and let the games begin is all I'll say about it.
Yeah. I mean, yes, it was technically in service of Jamie Hayter, but with the characterization that we've seen of Britt Baker to this point, it like you say, it's only a matter of time before that jealousy takes hold in Britt, and she's going to start being upset at Jamie getting the spotlight, at getting set your watches by it. tick, tick, it's coming.
Yep, seething and coping from the sidelines until she can't take it anymore. Can't wait. I'm just happy they didn't do it like instantaneously. It'll be more fun. It'll be more fun to like let it stretch out for a few weeks, and just reach a like peak bitterness.
But who gets Rebel in the divorce?
Probably Britt. I would hope. I don't know, man. Doesn't matter. She's gonna be standing outside the ring going, "Oh!"
Hey, she's doing great work.
She has like the weirdest like scream shout sound from outside of the ring. Like it, yeah. Anyway, Ring of Honor World Title match followed this. Chris Jericho.
No. We had more Ring of Honor news prior to that. We went backstage. We went backstage.
Oh, yes.
Top Flight.
I was gonna run down the Rampage. We didn't really discuss this beforehand, but I was just gonna run the Rampage card down after we talked about
gotcha.
after we talked about the main event.
Gotcha. Well, Top Flight did challenge FTR for the ROH World Tag Team titles. Poor AAA. No one cares about the AAA tag team titles, apparently.
AAA doesn't care about the tag team titles. FTR didn't even defend them at Triple Mania.
No, hey, not wrong, but
you know what? I'd rather they not defend them than they defend them in a match and then change the match to a ladder match at the last minute and then have the belts hanging almost above the ropes, like over on the side of the ring, so you can't even put the ladder in the middle of the ring to collect the belts, and then that go on to be like the match was mid. If I had to give an opinion on it. But anyway.
So glad you have access to the soundboard.
Oh, I love it. Oh, there's sounds on it. We haven't even tipped the ice. The iceberg on the soundboard goes pretty deep. There's a lot in here.
See, this is why you need to stay tuned to the post show here on Body Slam, guys. You're not getting this anywhere else.
Yeah, exactly. Where else are you going to hear sound bites that I've definitely ripped out of Twitter reaction GIFs that have been in my saved videos on my phone for months? Jericho versus Ishii.
We did also have the Acclaimed pop up.
Oh, yeah. What? Did I like go get food or something? What did I do right before the main event here where I don't remember these things?
I have a couple of theories, but I'm not sure that they're fit for family consumption.
Legal Canadian theories. Legal Canadian theories, Kyle.
Fair. It's trending that way here. We're slowly but surely getting there, I think. But that's neither here nor there.
More states every fall. It just happens.
But yes, the acclaimed went to celebrate because Daddy Ass's hand is finally healed. He's able to scissor again. But they were interrupted by Sanjay Dutt, Jay Lethal, and Satnam Singh, and eventually by a man that I very much did not want to see anymore, and I made it very clear that I did not want to see this man anymore. Jeff goddamn Jarrett.
Card-carrying member of the Slapnuts fan club here.
I made it very clear before Full Gear, I do not want this man to be a full-time character on my TV. And I thought that Tony Khan listened to me. Apparently, he only listens to Kylie. Fine, but maybe I'll get her to try to get her to guide him in the right direction. So
don't do it. Embrace the Slapnuts. Embrace the Slapnuts.
So Jay Lethal, I guess Jay Lethal and Satnam Singh are going to challenge, I guess.
Yeah, apparently. Hey, all right. I feel like deep down in Satnam Singh, there's like he's actually just gonna go off one day. Like we're just not prepared.
What very little I've seen of Satnam Singh so far has been serviceable at best. but that's in a very small sample size. Why? Not only that, Lethal and Jarrett lost at Full Gear.
True.
In what universe are these guys getting a title shot before FTR even?
We've stopped using the rankings.
0 cents.
We've stopped it. They've stopped using the ranking system. It's literally just like you challenge for a belt now. You can just challenge people for belts.
If nothing else, even bring back Chikara's method of the 3 wins.
Oh,
Chikara used to do that with all of their titles. You had to win 3 matches in a row in order to request a title shot. Once the title shot was granted, if you lost, you didn't lose your place. But if you lost before that title shot was granted, too bad. Go back to the beginning. It created more drama in the undercard matches because this person has 1 point, but this guy, they have 2 points. And can they qualify for a title shot, or are they going to get knocked out while this other team goes to 2? And it's, it played with that, and it encouraged that, you had at least something of a winning streak going before you challenged for a championship.
Yeah,
it's a little thing, but it would at least give you some level of hierarchy without going to the ironclad rankings, which you were 50-50 on following anyway.
Well, look, I'm just hoping it's Jay Lethal and Satnam Singh versus the Acclaimed, and not Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett versus the Acclaimed for those tag titles. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah. Now I wish we had just skipped ahead to the main event.
I know.
Chris,
I'm here to ruin everyone's fun.
It's okay. Your name's not Jarrett. Chris Jericho defending the ROH World Title against Tomohiro Ishii. I'm so happy because I got to hear the Stone Pitbull's music. It's one of my favorite entrance musics in wrestling, so I pop for it every time.
I love Hiroki. I love Hiroki Goto's though.
Yeah, his is another one. Absolutely. I don't know, man. How do you not get happy just seeing Tomohiro Ishii walking out with his neck the size of a thigh and just beating the shit out of people so hard that their chests literally gush blood? Like, what more do you want here?
Ishii is the man, and Ishii has remained criminally underrated in New Japan Pro Wrestling forever.
He's the name I think of when I think of the Never Openweight title. He has like an annual run with it, basically. But I want to give some credit Chris Jericho's way here, because as Ring of Honor champion, not only like has he like he talked, he's built his whole title reign on talking about like desecrating the championship, but he's had some fucking just great title defenses for this belt, and he's had to defend against so many different styles too over the time that he's been holding it, where it's you can't not appreciate what he's doing in the matches to defend the belt. And he hasn't even been winning. Like, he's been winning some of these matches clean. He hasn't even been cheating with it. And there's a part of me that almost hopes that he just starts to embrace the title and what Ring of Honor means and starts actually like fighting with honor. Because again, like he's been having just banger matches with this title and defending it against so many amazing wrestlers week in and week out. I don't want it to stop. I want him to just hold this belt until they get a TV show, and then like usher in the era of Ring of Honor TV by having him, finally lose the belt to like, kind of who you want to run with as the face of ROH now that you've got the TV era started. And then just like, I don't even care how long it takes. Just like have him keep running through like some of the best international talents throughout the world, past ROH champions. Just like anybody who wants some can come get some.
Hey, it's a really interesting prospect. I know I mentioned something on Twitter tonight during the show about, you know what? Let's just have Jericho run through the gamut of major Japanese stars that have held titles in ROH. He's beaten Ishii. Let him take on Kushida for more of a cruiserweight style.
Yeah.
Kushida's a former TV champion. Let him take on Minoru Suzuki, who is, of course, a former television champion. Let him take on Shingo Takagi.
Oh, I love that.
Who is a former ROH tag team champion.
Also,
Shingo and Naruki Doi beat the Briscoes for the titles back in the day.
Yes.
I believe they held the titles for about 4 weeks or so, and then the Briscoes won them back, I think, in Japan. But
there's only one I'm waiting for. There's one former ROH champion that I need it for my soul. I need Chris Jericho versus Homicide. I need it so badly. Homicide, okay, like story time, cool bug fact, if you will. Mike stopped watching televised wrestling in 2005-ish, just didn't like it, was giving up on it completely, and a coworker of mine introduced me to Ring of Honor, and he was like, if you don't like all the like drama TV story stuff, just watch this. It's just dope matches. That's all it is, basically. Just crazy good wrestling. And I was like, all right, bet. Fell in love with it. And one of the first wrestlers I fell in love with was the notorious 187 Homicide. And I just, for my soul, I need Jericho to wrestle Homicide while he has this belt and he's doing the Ring of Jericho. I need it. I won't be whole.
And this was great stuff. And you mentioned earlier, the way that Jericho has been defending the title and how it's been slowly changing and how you're seeing more clean title defenses now. And I think a lot of us immediately assumed when he won the title that it was going to be Jericho, continues to desecrate honor, continues to act like an ass with the belt, and so on and so forth. And then Daniel Garcia finally gets fed up, discovers his mantle as a professional wrestler, and restores honor to the title and defeats Jericho. That seemed to be the prevailing logic when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
And it's entirely possible that we all looked at it wrong. And maybe the end game isn't that. Maybe the end game is Jericho taking yet another face turn and, rediscovering the honor in himself. Because you saw, fighting spirit Jericho in this match.
Yeah, like a motherfucker we did.
Yeah, that's it felt like a babyface versus babyface kind of match. It wasn't a lot of BS from Jericho. He just beat him straight up. And
they had a fight tonight. That was some like G1 climax shit happening in that ring. That was beautiful.
So I mentioned Ishii in the climax is Ishii in the G1 climax is like next level Ishii too. Like that dude has a win over Kenny Omega in the G1 climax. While Kenny Omega was IWGP heavyweight champion. Like this was Kenny Omega at the height of his power, and Ishii beat him in the tournament that year.
His block match with Shibata.
Yeah.
Oh man, I could go on about it. Yeah, I could do a whole podcast just talking to you about Ishii matches for fucking dope.
But no, this was great stuff from a former television champion.
Ishii tapping out with the middle finger, flipping off Jericho and tap the mat with the bird still out.
Yep, God, great stuff. And this was just like they chopped each other solid through a commercial break.
That through Jericho's chest is that. How do you wear a shirt after tonight? How do you put it on? Like
I saw one clock that said that match was 15 minutes, just a little over 15 minutes. I haven't seen a chest look like that since Bryan Danielson and Roderick Strong from the first Supercard of Honor back in 2006. And that went like 54 minutes, I think. And even still, I don't think Danielson's chest, after being in with Roderick Strong for almost an hour, looked as bad as Jericho's did tonight.
It's that middle-aged Florida tan, man. That his skin's just brittle.
Must be.
But I'm sure Ichi also hits like a bus. It doesn't look like he's tickling him at all.
No.
So.
But no, this was great stuff. I'm very intrigued by where we go from here with the former champion shtick. I name dropped a few on social media. Like, if you want to be really technical, Will Ospreay's a former ROH TV champion. He only held it for 2 days, but Will Ospreay is technically a former. Hey, maybe we bring him stateside to promote his match with Kenny Omega, and then all of a sudden, oh look, let's do Ospreay versus Jericho, because why the hell not?
Yeah.
But post-match, we may have gotten some guidance about what might be happening at Final Battle.
Yeah, Jericho approached the commentary table, was making some gestures to Mr. Riccaboni. I don't know
that is unacceptable. Ian Riccaboni is a damn treasure.
I don't know why you put your hands on that man anyway. Like, come on. He's just sitting there. He's calling your match, just telling people how good you are. You're just gonna go up there and lay your hands on him, but it's okay. Claudio saves the day, laid Jericho out very sternly too. Like, it wasn't like the kind of bubbly Claudio we've been seeing around AEW. Like, he looked like business Claudio. He dropped Jericho.
He slapped Jericho like Jericho owed him money.
Yeah. Oh, he put him down. But so Final Battle, something on the way to Final Battle. I don't know. When is Final Battle? It's like this is
December 10th.
10th. Okay.
You're 2 weeks from Saturday. And
yeah.
If I'm going to be completely honest, I don't love the idea of Claudio here. I really don't. I love me some Claudio Castagnoli. I lost my mind when he showed up at Forbidden Door. Mm-hmm. I don't love the idea of Claudio here.
I'll be honest. I just don't love the idea of like JAS and BCC still like. There's other wrestlers in the company for these 10 men to fight with than each other all the time.
I see how and why you've set it up with Claudio having a tap out and a pinfall victory over Jericho in the last few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see what's your payoff here? Does Claudio win at Final Battle? If so, what was the point of the last however many months? What was the point of any of that?
The Ocho. He couldn't be the Siete. He had to be the Ocho.
Now, yeah, if Claudio wins, then to me there was functionally no point of the last few months. If Claudio loses, then I guess you've got another former champion. Like it turns it into another kind of nothing burger to me. Yeah. Like I don't like either way for how that ends necessarily. And it's entirely possible to keep the title on Jericho through Final Battle, through to the first episode of TV, and play it that way. But like when ROH debuted on Sinclair back in 2011, yeah. They main evented that show with Haas and Benjamin, who were in their brief ROH run at that point, against the Kings of Wrestling, in an ROH tag team title match. So you again took, you're debuting on TV and you're taking a major star that people know and recognize from, their time in WWE, and dropping them into a title program. So it's entirely possible that Tony Khan follows that playbook again. But that being said, it also feels like it cheapens the main event of Final Battle to me a little bit to use that as a setup for TV. I've never been a big fan of using pay-per-view to set up free TV. That always feels backwards to me.
Given that it's to launch a brand new product, I'm like, I think it's different than if you use it to, like, you know, if we used Full Gear to set up Dynamite this week. But if it's like, you know, if we're gonna get to Final Battle and maybe like find out, oh hey, by the way, ROH, whatever we're calling the TV show, starts, you know, February whatever or something, then, you know, like, you could use the pay-per-view serves a purpose in that regard for me. But if
it does,
if it's like a pay-per-view that's just in the middle of like weeks of TV and the pay-per-view just ends up being like TV story time, that, you know, I'll complain. I would definitely complain about that.
I can see where you're at on that, and I understand where you're coming from there, and it makes sense. There's also a part of me that's Final Battle was always the end point for so many things. It just feels very weird to me to use that as a continuation point as well. But that may just be me being a traditionalist, being stuck in the mud, being the old man who yells at the clouds, you know, whatever you want to say. But it's my hope that they would announce TV at Final Battle or in the immediate lead up to it. Jericho would drop the title at Final Battle, and then we would lead in with a clean slate and a fresh roster, and here we go. But that may not be what we get. And you know what? I'm going to be covering ROH regardless, possibly for Body Slam, probably for some other projects, whatever, what have you. But I remain hopeful that we will get some more clarification on this at Rampage on Friday night. Yeah. Friday afternoon.
Oh, yeah. Is it live this week, or do they tape it tonight?
I believe it's being taped tonight, but don't quote me on that. I have not been paying super close attention.
I'll look. I'm gonna end up doing my like look for a spoiler article at 1 a.m. thing anyway. So if I don't find one, I know it's live. But yeah, we ended. Yeah, so that's how we ended Dynamite. No post match or anything. Just Jericho getting a nice clean win over Tomohiro Ishii in a disgustingly good match. And talking about Rampage, we do have coming up this week the aforementioned FTR defending the ROH tag titles against Top Flight. Gonna cook. A match that I'm really excited for. We're gonna get, hopefully, like, we're gonna get some fantastic chain sequences between Darby Allin and Anthony Henry. Low-key, Darby Allin, really technically skilled. Anthony Henry, one of the best wrestlers in North America. Quote me.
Yep. And
they're gonna cook. It's gonna be so good. No one's gonna even expect it. People are gonna be like, "What the fuck was that?"
No, and these two have a history. These two have met in Evolve. These two have met in at several different Evolve events. They had a little feud going on through 2018 and 19. They met at a couple of different spots. Their first match for Evolve was way back in 2016. But outside of a DQ match, you know, Darby's by and large had Anthony Henry's number. This probably won't change at all on Friday as well, but this is going to be sleeper good. If you're not familiar with Anthony Henry, hopefully this gets some time. This is going to be a blast.
Yeah.
And I am going to go on record again. I want the Workhorsemen in the new ROH.
I think they'll be
I want them to be a cornerstone of that tag division, because I already got Workhorsemen versus Briscoes at a Warrior Wrestling event last year. That was a banger. I still want Kingdom versus FTR for the tag titles at Final Battle. I think that's a great option. I want that to happen. But somewhere along the line, I still want to get Workhorsemen versus FTR, because I think that match would slap too.
Yeah, but that'd be a nice Yeah, that would actually be like a fantastic match to just drop on like a Rampage or something. Like that'd be a great one to put in there.
Come
Also
on, Tony, give us a call.
Also on Rampage this week, Hikaru Shida is going to be in action, so she's just going to kill someone. We're going to find out what we're doing with Shida on Friday, basically. And then, we've got a trios match. Roosh teaming with the Butcher and the Blade to take on Dark Order. Roosh's fascination with Preston Vance continues. I see this match existing to advance the storyline further. I expect there'll be some good wrestling in there. I'm particularly interested in like John Silver and Roosh locking it up more than anything. I think that'll cook. That'll be another sleeper. People aren't going to be ready for John Silver and Roosh. They'll put a good one on.
Yeah. So I mean, check out Rampage this week, guys. It's going to be great.
It's at 4:00. It's at 4:00. Hallelujah! They should just do this every week, man.
Get your Christmas shopping done. Head back home. Enjoy some Rampage.
Oh, is this Black Friday?
Yes, tomorrow being Thanksgiving, that is kind of what that would make that. I'm sorry, United States,
Canada. Like okay, so Thanksgiving Day is actually Thursday then. Like yes, tomorrow is okay, interesting. Is it always a Thursday?
Yes, it's always the fourth Thursday in November, because why would we have an actual day? That's just silly. And for my own purposes, I'm very happy about this. There's going to be some college football on Friday that I'm going to enjoy as well. So we'll be Rampage, I'll have some football, I'll have some Christmas shopping, I'll have some Thanksgiving leftovers. It's going to be a great day.
I have a fun story for you, but you're not going to like me for it. Like, I'm Canadian again, so NCAA teams, I have no allegiance regionally. So I just decided that the NCAA football team that I would adopt, I was like coached into it by a friend that I would play games online with. So like his team became my team. And I got 2 words for you, Kyle Sparks. Go Blue.
I thought that's where you were going. Hey,
you
know what?
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
But like, if it makes you feel better, I haven't watched a game in like a year, so
it's okay. We can get along despite it. It's okay.
Yeah. I'm not too hardcore for it, but man, I thought you'd appreciate that a little bit.
Hey, you know what? That's totally okay. Good stuff. This was a heck of an episode. Where would you rank it? 1 to 10?
In the ring, God, like an 8+. Like just for Jericho Ishii, like that was stupid good for me. I don't know. Some of the stuff outside of the ring though didn't hit as much for me. Probably like overall for the episode, 7. It's a 7.
Oh, all right. You know what? I'm gonna go right around 8.5 thereabouts. Just because Jericho Ishii was amazing. Despite my misgivings with some of the antics and shenanigans, Elite Death Triangle was phenomenal. You had a perfectly serviceable 3-way women's tag. You had a really great underdog story with Starks and Page. It gets drugged down a bit from the nonsense with Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett. I don't need that anymore. I'm beyond done with that. So yeah, about 8.5. Great show. I think the only puzzling decision is why we're involving Jay Lethal and Jeff Jarrett and that whole entourage in the tag title scene.
This
don't see it.
This played massively into the things that didn't work for me out of the ring.
Yeah.
Also, like some of the opening segment like I got the purpose of it, but like I don't know, some of it just kind of missed with me. But and then like the Swerve and Keith Lee thing, I just want to know. Don't give me the like. I don't want to think that they're getting back. Like I don't want to. I just want them to start fighting. I don't want there to. I don't want to sit here with any like. They're gonna try to work it out and coexist still for like a couple more weeks thing. You just get it going.
Mike just needs the violence.
Pretty much. I just really want to see crazy good matches, and I know that they're gonna have a bunch of them.
Oh yeah.
So
they're gonna deliver. That's gonna be great once it happens.
I know. Just stop leading me on. Just make it happen. Don't come on now.
Enough with the foreplay.
Pretty much, yeah. But yeah, that was AEW Dynamite tonight. We got Rampage 4:00 Friday, and in the meantime, between now and next Wednesday, where can everyone find you at, Kyle?
Find me on Twitter or on Hive. I'm on Hive now as well, as apparently all of wrestling Twitter has migrated to Hive in very short order. We just kind of collectively all decided that.
Yeah.
I'm on Twitter. I'm on Hive. I'm on Counter Social. There's probably a few more. I nailed down at Kyle K. Sparks on as many as I could possibly get my hands on. I may not use any of them, but I'm on them. At Kyle K. Sparks. I'm here every Wednesday night with Mike doing the Body Slam post show. I am usually live tweeting the event. I'll probably be live tweeting Rampage on Friday. I'll usually be live tweeting whatever wrestling I might be watching at any given moment. You can also find me on Romanticize Wrestling when we get that up and running and we decide to do some more content with that. With Kylie Fuller, who you've seen me host the Code of Honor podcast with. So anything that I'm doing will also be promoted on my socials as well. So come on, come say hey.
Hell yeah. And me, you find me Twitter right here. I'm on Hive now too. It's Mr. Purple, MrPurple. Yeah, it's Twitch username. I wanted to get it on Hive because I prefer it. Also, I'm not just from Indeed. I'm from like a couple of podcasts and like Body Slam in general. So I didn't want to just strap my Hive to that. But now people are gonna like look for my Twitter on there and not find it and be like, "Oh, I guess he's not on here. Fuck this guy." So I might have shot myself in the foot. We'll find out.
Now, to be fair, they might say that for a variety of reasons.
It's true, honestly. Like, I didn't tweet. I was gonna say tweet about it. I didn't post about wrestling on Hive for like a day at all. I just tried to like get laughs basically, and yeah, anyone who saw that shit was probably just like, nope. Like, it's no coincidence that the followers started coming when I started talking about wrestling. So, but yeah, we'll be back here next week talking about Dynamite again, unless some crazy shit happens. Who knows? But give me an interesting week. See what happens on Rampage. See how it all shapes out for Dynamite next week. In the meantime, hope you all take care of yourselves. Thank you for spending some time with us here. Like the video, subscribe to Body Slam Net. It's Body Slam Net on everything now. Cassidy changed the YouTube handle, so it literally is Body Slam Net across all the socials now. We're even on Hive there. I haven't found the Hive logo to add in, so next week, sure.
Well, I think they're all very taken aback by that, so it should be. They may not be prepared for the sudden influx of people anyway.
Yeah, imagine you started a social media site and it's like, oh, okay, I wonder what community is going to come here first, and they find out it's wrestling Twitter. Oh fuck! What a terrible
surprise!
What a terrible bunch of pilgrims to fucking stake claim on this website before anyone else. Like, oh god,
we have the intellectual equivalent of smallpox blankets.
Yeah. I don't know. I will say it's been overwhelmingly so far, very positive on there. Seen a lot of
No,
good.
it's been good. It's been good.
A lot of the good
So-
exists there. A lot of the best parts of wrestling Twitter seem to exist there so far, and I haven't seen any of the worst parts except for that one news site that followed me, and I immediately blocked them when I saw that they followed me on there. But other than that, I haven't seen any negativity on there at all.
There you go. Well, hey, find us on Hive. Find us on Twitter.
Yeah,
Find us. We're good folks. We got good takes.
absolutely. Have a good night, everyone. We'll see you next week.